I just play one on.
Do you have anyone from inside? Anyone from inside? Come out.
Nice to see you too. Congrats, everybody.
Okay, we're just going to give about 30 seconds. If anyone else from the clinic wants to come out. If any volunteers want to help grab folks. All right. Can you hear me now? Yes. It is my sincere pleasure to welcome you to Flatbush Veterinary Clinic. Now that enthusiasm and that energy level is so high because you all know the need is so great. I didn't have to say anything. You know, you're here. I want to thank you for being here and for being part of it. Because this is the kind of people power that is required for real change. So every single one of you here is part of that. Today we are here to celebrate a major step forward for animal welfare in New York City. But we're not just helping cats and dogs. We are making New York City a better and more equitable place to live, where more folks can enjoy the love and companionship that our pets provide. Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I don't have a veterinary background. I don't have a background in animal welfare, nonprofit. Are we cutting out a little bit?
The mic's in and out.
Okay, we're good?
Yep.
Okay. But like many of you, I was just tired of seeing cats suffer on the street. So I was tired of seeing cats waiting around in overcrowded shelters. And ultimately, after doing this work for a couple of years, we realized that these are just symptoms. You've heard this speech before, I think. You stepped up with us, though. You stepped up with us to tackle the real problem, which is that 50% of U.S. pet owning households can no longer afford a basic pet visit. You have helped to build a solution to overcrowded animal shelters. This is what it looks like. We believe every pet deserves to see a vet. And I know you do too. We're excited to offer wellness services here with an amazing team so that cats and dogs can permanently change the trajectory of their lives just by seeing a vet their first year of life. Excited to offer wellness exams, vaccines, microchips, everything you need to get your pet off to a healthy start. And while they're here, we're going to have the talk. It's our called spay neuter. And we're going to get all those folks booked for their spay neuter appointment. Because that's a high volume spay neuter clinic with, again, an absolutely amazing. We talked about wellness, we talked about spay neuter, but there's more. This facility is also going to allow us to double our rescue and TNR operations so that we can continue to help more cats, especially the ones who need us the most. And then we will double it again, because the need in New York is great. And as more families can enjoy this access to this basic veterinary care that every single pet deserves, we will have fewer cats born outside. Those Instagram posts that you see every day, that's what we're here to solve, right? We'll have fewer of those. And as we have fewer cats born outside, our shelters will not be overburdened, constantly having new animals showing up every single day. And so this benefits the entire ecosystem. And ultimately, we'll be able to give each cat the life that they all deserve, the life we want for our own pets. You made all of this possible. Now, there are thousands and thousands of donors from around the world who shared this vision and contributed to this. So for your sake, I will not be naming every single one of them. But I do think it's pretty powerful that folks who will never even visit this clinic, they will never even meet the people that this clinic helps, but they wanted to see it happen. And if we can make this happen in New York, the most expensive city in the world, we can do this anywhere, everywhere. I want to thank a few folks in particular who've stepped up to make this possible, particularly our lead funder, Jess Humane, who shared this vision with us years ago, before we even had a floor plan, and knew that this was a critical investment that needed to be made for New York. So today we honor Jean Shapiro, who cared so deeply about cats in New York and the people who care for them. I want to highlight several other key partners who made today possible, including the Leonard and Robert Weintraub Family Foundation, the New York Community Trust, the Irving and Phyllis Milstein Foundation for Animal Welfare, the Lakeview Foundation, Petco Love, and ASPCA. And I also want to thank our catalysts of change. Those are individuals who made transformational gifts towards the construction and build out so that we will be here for decades. That is the kind of foresight that you all have brought to this project. I also want to thank our monthly sustaining supporters who allow us to do this work every single day and plan ahead to do stuff like this, because we want to make the biggest impact possible, and we're just getting started. I want to thank MWI, Antec, and Elanco for covering our costs today so that all of your donations go towards the mission. And one reason I'm so glad you're here is because you got to meet our amazing, amazing staff. This is a huge team. To do work this big, it takes a ton of different folks. So I want to thank all of our team who's been so hard at work to get us up and running and get this clinic open in a few weeks.
And thank you, Will.
Thank you, Vicki. I'm so proud to say that we have over, and this is still wild, 250 volunteers working so hard. All those videos you see, I'm not in those anymore. Did you notice that? This project is too big. We need tons of New Yorkers who want to help out. And so when you look at those videos, it's New Yorkers. That's what you've helped to create. And so those folks are out there rescuing and caring for the cats who need us most every day. And lastly, I want to thank my partner, Divya, who has supported this organization in more ways than I can count. To put up with my cats. In 2016, we were just two cat lovers, just two people who trying to figure out how Divya did though. And she spent so many long nights providing the love and support that these cats need, and she's still doing amazing things like helping to design the clinic that we are all just in love with inside. So, Divya, I can't thank you enough for making this possible. She and I, you might not realize this, but she and I both like to stay behind the scenes. So you won't see her often. You won't see a lot of these folks. We're all doing the work. And I don't want to be in front of the camera, but I will. I will step up and I will fight for this, and I'll fight for you all. As you can see, this facility is beautiful. and we're almost there. But we haven't reached our fundraising goal just yet. So we still do need your help to get the doors open. You can see the QR codes around the space if you'd like to make an additional gift for the final push. Thank you for helping us move upstream, save thousands of lives every single year for the next several decades. Folks are watching all around the world because we need this everywhere. So you have started something here. Without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce our friend, Jackson Galaxy.
Oh man, I don't want to, hi guys. Hi everybody. Welcome. This is to something very important for Flatbush, for Brooklyn, for New York, beyond. It's a model whose time has come. And first of all, the speed at which this thing came together, testament to you guys, it's incredible. To go from just trapping cats and taking pictures to this in such a short amount of time, and it's remarkable. And the thing that I keep thinking about is the word dignity. And I think that when we talk about whether it's folks who just want to have cats in their lives, who want to have animals as part of their family, and as Will was mentioning, are facing incredible barriers when it comes to access to care, you shouldn't have to face that because you love animals. Money should not be the thing that prevents you from a life with animals. It's a privilege to share our lives with them. And to have that barrier lowered is remarkable and something I think that we all want. And Flatbush, you guys just, I get kind of choked watching all of this happen because it means a lot. And when I say dignity for those who love animals and just want to share their homes with them, there's also the cats themselves. And whether we're talking about the cats who live in our community, whether they're friendlies or ferals or somewhere in between, it's time to bring them out of the shadows. And that's what this organization brings to those cats, is dignity. They have the dignity of being themselves. So whether we are giving them basic care, spaying or neutering, and they live in our community, or whether they live on our couch next to us, they deserve the same love, just shown in a different way. This is giving a model for that. So this is dignity, this is access, this is all about love, and I couldn't be any more proud of Flatbush Cats for getting here, and I'm honored to be here today. Thank you guys. Without further ado,
what's up, Brooklyn? I just want to say that from the moment, I want to give a shout out to my husband because he's the person that introduced me to these fun people. And we went to dinner, and I was very quiet at the dinner, and they looked worried. And on the way home, I cried. And I said, I wish they were around when I was a kid. A kid from Brooklyn who grew up in abject poverty, who didn't even think about owning an animal. Didn't even think about having a pet because of the cost involved. And so it just touched my heart in a very, very deep way. And it also touched my heart on the level of seeing how many abused cats that are in the streets. People are so cruel. And just to think that we can decrease that cruelty with their program spoke volumes to my soul. And I want to thank you for that, because we talk about people and their pets, but we also need to talk about the ones that don't have a family to go to. And I relate to that strongly. And I also want to give a shout out to the city. My heart was overwhelmed when I saw Jamani getting out of the car. Jamani Williams, can I give you a shout out? Public advocate. Yes. Who is an animal activist, and his passion is overwhelming. I want to thank the press that came out today. You know, I know how this game goes, and when you guys make the effort to come on out, it makes a big difference, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And also, the representative, I'm sorry, I'm so emotional, I forgot your name, from the mayor's office. The mayor's office representative is here too. Can we give her a shout out too? And I truly have it in my heart that the city will step up. Just having you here, the city representatives, I know you're going to step up because this organization needs money and it just cannot run alone just on private donors. So I just want to say thank you to you guys for allowing me to be a part of it. I want to thank my husband for introducing me to you guys. And I also want to thank my husband for pushing Will to step out front. He was asking me to be the spokesperson. I was like, honey, you got to do it yourself. I don't know everything. You know everything. You know? There's just so many talking points you can email. So I hope you guys are having a good time. And I thank you for your heart and your compassion and humanity. So, congratulations to all.
Thank you so much, Ruben. Thank you so much, Jackson. Speaking from your heart, we have one more special announcement to share. And I'll turn it over to Councilmember Justin.
Thank you, Will. Thank you all so much. My name is Justin Brennan. I started out as a punk rock hardcore kid, and now I'm a politician. I don't know how that worked out, but here we are. And I've always been an animal rights guy, animal welfare guy. I went vegetarian when I was in the 8th grade. I used to throw buckets of paint at people wearing fur coats, the whole deal. We don't talk about that in front of the press. But, 20, 30 years later, all those things that were important to me are still with me, right? It's no different than how I felt when I was 16 years old, 15 years old. Now I'm lucky enough to be an elected official, one of 51 who represents the people in the city council. And all those things that mattered to me then still matter to me now, except what's cool now is that I actually can do something about it, right? Instead of throwing rocks at the building, now I'm inside the building trying to find a way to make this work. And for me, I think what's important is that I want to get to a point where there's places like Flatbush Cats, Flatbush Vet, all over the city that the city is also investing. Because frankly, the work that you do, the work that all of your networks do, is really something that the city of New York should be doing, right? You're sort of subsidizing what the city really should be doing. And this city, the past 10 years, we've made a lot of strides, right? I wrote a bill to create the first ever Mayor's Office of Animal Welfare. No other city has an Office of Animal Welfare, and Alex is here today from that Office of Animal Welfare. I know that fire and that urgency that we all share as people that care about animals. We want stuff to happen tomorrow. But we're taking great strides here just in simply opening a place like this and creating a place like this. The next step is to get the city to really identify the fact that they need to be helping out and subsidizing this. It shouldn't go into, you reaching into your pockets every time you need to take care of a community cat just because we know you're going to do it because of who you are, because you have such great hearts. But the city can't take advantage of that. The city's got to step up and subsidize and put their money where their mouth is. So today we are announcing, I want to bring up our local council member, Farrah. Lois Farrah, come on. budget, in the chaos of the budget, it came down to the wire. What we did was we fought to make it a first investment in Flatbush Cats so that the local groups who sort of do all this great work out of their kitchen and are not 501c3s, have no idea what a 501c3 is, but they've been doing the work, have some money to help get them started through Flatbush Cats. They can come here to learn how to do stuff, to understand how best to help end feral cats in this city. So we have a big game show check here to present. It's for $150,000. Rosie, get it!
I'm going in here, Rosie.
Come on!
All the roses.
Yeah.
You should be in that.
Yeah.
What about Hayes? Bro.
All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you for bringing everyone. Have a good day for coming here today and making this possible. Couldn't do it without you.